While hunting for artifact Beta for Constellation, we find ourselves at the Nova Galactic Star Yard, which has been long abandoned, but is still orbiting Earth's moon, Luna. After docking with the Star Yard, we immediately find bodies, and Sarah gives us a crash course on the history of spacers.
2 steps in, and we're already looking at a corpse. Okay, it's not Vanguard Moara. Looks like spacers were scavenging around here and someone else came in and said hello. Oh, this won't be your last encounter with a spacer crew. They pillage abandoned facilities and shoot anyone who gets in their way. They're even less organized than the Crimson Fleet. Just countless desperate groups scavenging and killing to survive.
Sure enough, while exploring this Star Yard, we have to kill a lot of spacers. And on one of the bodies, we find a slate. Secret outpost. Loyal to your crew. I get it. But screw that. Beg, borrow, steal, kill to get to Denbola 1B. There is a secret outpost we are trying to crack. Once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You will regret it for the rest of your life if you don't get your ass over here. Oh, so the spacers are trying to get into a secret outpost. This begins the side quest, Mantis. Well, after we take care of things for Constellation, we can make our way to Denbola 1B. We find the coordinates for the secret outpost on the surface and we can land. And as soon as we get out of the ship, we are charged by a spacer.
Life faces some of the same sorts of challenges everywhere.
Going down.
I'm forever fascinated by...
4. Get the hell out now. 3, 2.
Well, the spacers are certainly here in force. After clearing everyone we can see, we can explore this landing pad. We find a staircase from the landing pad leading down to a structure, and it's guarded by more spacers.
Take cover.
With the spacers dead, we can hop down, loot the bodies, and open the door to the Lair of the Mantis. We arrive in a locker room, and we hear spacers talking amongst each other in a nearby room.
Okay, I'll get my own trident.
Opening a door, our quest log updates to optionally learn more about the Lair of the Mantis. Creeping around a corner, we again begin to overhear spacers talking amongst each other.
Just it. The Mantis is dead. And inside, who knows what we'll find.
This is a bad idea.
So this was the home of the Mantis, someone who took out other spacer bosses. But the spacers here claim that the Mantis is dead. Perhaps that's why they now have the courage to explore the Mantis's lair. Moving into the next room, we can take him out. And of course, Barrett's gotta get in my way.
One down.
Thanks, Barrett. You're such a help. On one of the bodies, we find the lair slate, the gold mine. This lair is a gold mine. The Mantis was loaded, the salvage top-notch, and the good stuff's gotta be further in. The payout's going to be extreme. Just gotta survive until then. Traps took out Carver and Jiang. Livy's volunteered a couple of others from Iron Dave's crew. Poor bastards. Just gotta stay off Livy's radar. The spacers are finding good salvage here, but sounds like they're having a hard time cracking the facility. The good stuff is deeper in, but they keep dying to traps. I wonder who this Livy is. After looting this room, we find a secure access hatch to the right that we can't interact with. And on the wall, we find an automated message.
You're doing well, Leon. Almost there. I know. Things have been difficult. The mantle of the Mantis is a heavy burden. But you can do so much good. The spacers and pirates need someone to fear. Someone to check them. To make them realize some lines cannot be crossed. You have it in you, Leon. I know you do. Stay sharp. Focused. Just a little further.
Okay, so the Mantis is like a space superhero, flying amongst the stars and ridding the universe of crime, killing pirates and spacers. But we don't yet know the roles that these characters play. Who is Dorian Vauclain? And who is Leon? Continuing down the hallway, we turn left and go down some stairs to fight more spacers.
I've got company. Find them. Damn it! Help! Help!
On the body of that tough guy is another slate. Leon Vauclain. Sic semper tyrannis. Well, wait a minute. The voice on the automated message was from Dorian Vauclain. So this Leon she was talking to was Leon Vauclain, a relative. Listening to the slate.
So met with a lawyer and was prepared to party. Hard. The video will was emotional. Mom and I stopped talking years ago. Mom didn't look good. But it was Mom. As weird, crazy, and cryptic as ever. I'm almost surprised she remembered she even had a son. It was hard to hear. Almost touching. But then the punchline. No inheritance until I go to Mom's secret base on Denabolo 1B. And she ends not with an I love you or an I'm proud of you. No. Sic semper tyrannis. My God. Always with that stupid Latin saying. Over and over she'd say that damn thing. Thanks, Mom. Thanks oh so much.
Right. The story's beginning to get a bit more clear. Dorian was Leon's mom. This was Dorian's base, so presumably Dorian was the Mantis. But Leon here said she didn't look good, and the spacers said that the Mantis was dead. Sounds like Dorian died of some illness. Leon was hoping for a big fat inheritance. He met with his lawyer and he was prepared to party hard. But he won't get the inheritance until he goes to his mom's base here on Denabolo 1B. And what was with that Latin phrase? Sic semper tyrannis? As far as I can tell, this translates to, so it always is with tyrants. Moving forward, we find the first of many difficult locked safes on the ground. After looting these rooms, we find a staircase leading down. Moving forward and rounding a corner, we find some bodies. 2 spacer bodies that we did not kill. Perhaps these guys died to the Mantis's traps. Opening a door, we find more spacers, and we can get a jump on them.
You have no idea
Incoming!
what you're up to.
And looks like we got an explodable generator. Heading down, we loot the corpses around a corner and continue down. We arrive at the top of another staircase, with lots of spacers at the bottom. We can test out one of the new laser rifles I just picked up, an Orion.
Found me a target. Damn it! Taking us off. Get the out.
But I wasn't satisfied with it, so I switched back to my Lawbringer.
I don't have time for this.
We fight the spacers down multiple flights of stairs.
Only a matter of time.
With the spacers dead on this level, we can loot the dead, and on one of the corpses we find Lair Slate, Leon's corpse. Found Leon's body. Looks like one of the damned traps got him too. Big fight over his body until Iron Dave broke it up. Managed to grab his cred stick though, so bonus. Gotta wonder, if the Mantis's own son got nixed, how can we do any better? Oh no! Leon came here as his mother requested, but ended up dying to her traps. Guess she had way more faith in him than he deserved. That is awful. I guess that means this place is free for the pickin'. Moving downstairs, we can clean up these final spacers.
Here we go.
Eyes burning! Ah,
Not like this.
terrible!
That's not.
On one of these corpses, we find another slate. Leon Vauclain, Mantis revealed.
Find anything worth selling or using?
No way. I mean, the Mantis is a fairy tale. Someone to keep pirates from going off the deep end. I guess it's possible. She never talked about where she got her fortune. And man, she could handle herself anywhere. It's a lot to take in.
I was frustrated that Barrett started talking to me right when I played this slate, so I opened it up in my inventory to play it again, only to get a completely different recording.
I'm here, and I'm hot, and I'm tired. So thanks, Mom. Best gift ever. The stupid code worked, and the door scanned my biometric. Surprise, it's me. Then I heard Mom. I nearly had a heart attack. She said her lair, yeah, Lair, what a freak, is meant for the worthy. So all I have to do is take some tests. I just want to get this over with.
I then played the other slates in my inventory to see if maybe they had some hidden dialogue that only played if we played them in the inventory, but they didn't. So I'm not exactly sure why that slate had two different recordings. After looting all of the bodies and every container on this level, and it's worth doing as these guys have lots of great gear, we can enjoy Barrett reminiscing about the previous times he's fought spacers.
One time I found some spacers living with ice spiders. Let me tell you what, I was not okay. One time I found a spacer nest full of bioluminescent ice and fleas. It was like sparkling popcorn.
Lovely, Barrett. Thank you for the context. Heading down the stairs, we find a bounty hunter spacesuit next to an old bed. And even though this isn't a rare or epic or legendary item, at this point in my playthrough, it was really good, almost doubling my physical energy and EM defenses. And it looked amazing too. Plus, it was really valuable. But from here, we find a door leading to a large room. We see spacers down there, so we can toss a grenade.
Too damn close! Move it!
But Barrett, come on! Ow! Barrett got in my way right when I threw my grenade, so we can pull out our drum beat to take these spacers to task.
Please, I've done this 1,000 times. Gone. Figures. Bad choice.
With the spacers dead, we can loot the corpses, and on one of the bodies, we find our first micro gun, which is essentially a minigun. As we loot this level, we walk across a catwalk, but stop short. We see a man standing by a door, but he's not hostile. So we can leave him be for a minute. We know we have to come back here, but we've got a lot to loot. At the bottom of the stairs, we find the body of Leon Vauclain. We know the spacers didn't kill him. They found his body here. He died to his mother's own traps. And it looks like the spacers hadn't had a chance to loot him yet. We find his credits and ammunition on his corpse. We also find another slate. Leon Vauclain, final recording.
Turrets. Mom, why the hell? This whole thing is a sick joke. Gotta get out. Oh, God.
He died to his mother's turrets. What kind of trap is waiting for us? There are a bunch of spacer bodies here, but our combat didn't extend this deep. So these guys were already dead. They too must have died to these traps. we find an expert-locked weapon case, and after spending way too long hacking it, we find that it's empty! Oh, just screw you guys! Empty! Oh! Right next to it, we find an expert-locked safe. You can imagine that by this time, I was really excited about hacking this. Thankfully, after doing so, we find more ammunition and a furious microgun. That's 2 rare microguns I've found in the same dungeon. And we find an old Earth hunting rifle, which got me really excited. After walking up the stairs on the opposite side of this large room and looting the bodies over here, we can make our way back to talk to the guy who's waiting for us. And we find out that his name is Livy. Oh.
Wait, don't shoot! I am unarmed! Look, we can help each other. I can be useful. Just don't kill me.
But we remember this name. On one of the Spacer slates, we read that Livy was quote-unquote volunteering some of the other Spacers to try and solve the traps. So we know that Livy here is a Spacer. We could attack and say, "You're just another dead Spacer."
No!
Or we could say, Spacers aren't usually the surrendering type.
It's because I'm smart. You've killed so many. I am nothing. No chance. So we can make a deal?
Or we could say, tell me who you are.
Livy, and I mean you, no harm. This place was full of traps. Traps everywhere. I removed them. But this corridor is just too dangerous. See? Looks normal. One step inside, slam! You are trapped, and nobody's been standing after the doors reopen.
How'd you deal with the traps?
No, sorry. If I tell you that, then I lose my leverage. They're ingenious. Took a lot of lives to tease them out.
It looks like this place really tore you apart.
It's true. So many of my crewmates are gone, and this corridor is the worst.
Or we could say, if you want to be spared, prove your worth.
No one knew how to get through the corridor. But I figured it out. There are letters on the floor. It is a grid. Those letters must spell something. But there are so many words or small phrases.
Sounds kind of obvious.
What? Well, nobody else here figured that out.
How many words have you tried?
5, 6? It's hard to find volunteers. I really thought we had it with Mantis. Oh, poor Fred.
Or we could say, you're smarter than you look.
Why does everyone always say that? See, I've been helpful. You could let me go. Or better, I can help. I know these traps. I know how this Mantis thinks. Please let me help. And just give me a taste of the cachet inside. You can trust me.
Nope. That's not a good idea.
Yeah, I think I'm with Barrett on this one. Anyone who says, you can trust me, in a suspicious way like that probably can't be trusted. We could immediately attack.
No!
Or we could try to spare his life by saying, just get out of here. I don't need you.
I have sacrificed too much. No, I won't go. I will fight you!
But he attacks. So much for Livy. But this means we now have a trap waiting for us that we've got to solve ourselves. Or we could say, you really think I'm going to trust you?
Trust is maybe too strong a word. We need each other, so we use each other. Then, when the arrangement is no good, we decide then?
Betray me, and you die.
Spoken like a true spacer. You won't regret this. I will hold back here. And, well, good luck.
If we choose this option, Livy waits here for us to solve the puzzle. So either way, he doesn't really help us out here. We can interact with the door, but closing it doesn't seem to do anything. So, walking through. Sounds like Livy wasn't telling us the whole truth. This door doesn't close. it doesn't trap us inside. Looking through a cage wall, we see a path to the left. But continuing forward, we find a terminal. However, this terminal was locked with a master lock. I couldn't hack it in my game, but if I could, this grants us access to turret control. Presumably that means there are turrets in the next room. We can deactivate them from here. In this recording, I had already destroyed them, which is why control didn't show up here. That leaves only one path forward. Heading through the cage, we move down a staircase and find a murder corridor. There are bodies all over the ground. These are the guys that Livy used to try and solve this riddle. And we see that he was kind of telling us the truth here. There are letters on the ground, and it looks like he had the right idea. We've got to use these letters to spell a word. He tried Mantis, and that didn't work. I guess we could try I am Mantis? But this first line doesn't have an I. But it's then we remember something we read about in one of the slates. A phrase that his mother, the Mantis, repeated to him over and over again.
Sic semper tyrannis. My God. Always with that stupid Latin saying. Over and over she'd say that damn thing.
Sic semper tyrannis. This must be the phrase. So, taking a look at the ground here, we do see an S. We can start by walking on S for sick. Ah! But the turrets turn on, and we suffer the same fate as Leon. Okay, well, trying again, we can take a look at the rows of letters. Each row has 7 letters. But that's not helpful because we can only choose one of them. But there are 8 rows of letters, which means the word we're looking for has 8 letters. Taking a look at sic semper tyrannis, only one word fits, and that's tyrannus. The password must be tyrannus. So, looking at the first row, sure enough, we find a T. And we're okay. Next, we need a Y. And there it is. All right. R. Where is R? Oh, it's way over there. Moving on. R. A. Right over here. N. We need 2 N's. There's the first. And, there's the second. I. We need to find an I. Let's see. Oh, no, that's a T. It was here, however, I realized that I hadn't been looting the bodies as I was going along. Ow! I'm okay. And because I backtracked, the lasers killed me again. So this time, trying again, but while looting the bodies as we go along, we can go T, Y, R, A, N, N, I, S. And we made it. The laser turrets don't turn on. And at the very end, we can push a button to open a cage door. Now, I should mention here that there's a way to cheese this. Getting the code right simply makes sure the turrets don't activate. But if we somehow get to the other end of this room before the turrets activate, we can push the button, open the door, and get to the other side. The turrets can't target us on the other side of this gate. No matter how we get across, if we do, and if Livy is still alive, he joins us on the other side.
It's amazing. Now, you must be careful. There will be traps, robots, probably turrets. Very dangerous.
I guess he saw us punch in the correct code and followed in our footsteps. Through the door, we find another cage door to the right locked with an expert lock. We've gotta hack this, hooray, everyone's favorite minigame. After picking the lock, we find a loot room, a storage box with credits, a weapon case, and here I found an epic microgun. That's 3 microguns I found in one dungeon. After looting a cooler, we can move forward and open a door at the end of the room. Heading down some stairs and walking down a hallway, we come under fire from more laser turrets. But the microgun comes in handy. Down some stairs and opening a door at the end.
Alert. Hostiles. I am engaging the enemy. I am taking damage.
Oh, this minigun tore through that robot. But there's another one.
All systems.
Yeah, I was having a lot of fun with this gun. After looting the robots, we discover another automated message on the wall.
I am sorry I could never show this lair to you. The lair is a secret that's been passed down for over 100 years. And there are rules. You remember when you were a teenager? All the training, the drills, all of it was to prepare you for this. I know you have it in you, Leon.
We get the impression from Leon's holotapes that he felt neglected. His mom was never around. She was off fighting crime. He didn't have a connection to her. If he really did go through a bunch of training as a child, it clearly didn't carry on over into adulthood. His only thought about hearing of his mother's death was getting her inheritance and partying hard. Rounding a corner and moving down a hallway, we loot more containers, and then we find a barricade with twitchy legs. Nice. Into the next room, we discover the lair of the Mantis. But it's here where, if Livy is still alive, he closes the door behind us and locks us in.
Thank you! Now the treasure of the Mantis will be mine! It will be... Wait, turn off! Turn off!
Well, I'm not exactly sure what he was expecting to achieve there. He locked us in the room with the treasure. We just came from the direction where he was, and we already looted all of the treasure on the other side of that locked door. What exactly was he trying to achieve here? Oh well, rest in peace, Livy. Up the stairs, we find an elevator to the left and a huge operations room to the right with a robot. What is this? I didn't know if it was hostile or not. It was moving so slowly, but then it attacked. Whew. Thank God for the microgun. This is an impressive looking room, but we don't find a lot here. So leaving this room and moving down a hallway to the right, we go through a door to enter a huge hangar.
Leon, you've done it. You're here. The lair now belongs to you. Inside, you will find all you need to be the Mantis, my darling boy. I haven't been the best mother in these final days. I wish. Be a better Mantis. Be a better person.
This area is off limits. You need to leave.
I guess we can take some small solace with the knowledge that Dorian is dead, and she never learned that she's responsible for killing her own son. This hangar is absolutely huge, with catwalks crisscrossing this way and that, tables bedecked with all sorts of scrap. After traveling down one long catwalk, we find a terminal at the end. Inside, we find 3 entries in the first security log. Corrupt entries unrecoverable, explosions detected, emergency wipe 3 running, defense contingency scorched earth initiated, mainframe failing, hard wipe at 97%, security offline, process terminated. Looks like when the spacers attacked and began to infiltrate this facility, all of the terminals began to wipe the data, which means we're not gonna find much. And the next one, archived security log, system defrag complete, Devoclane access granted to Mantis Entrance 01, Devoclane access granted to Mantis ED Cab 03, Devoclane unassigned admin role Mantis, guest Devoclane exit Mantis Entrance 01. And in the last one, deleted logs, process scorched earth interrupted, data unrecoverable. Over 100 years of history here, and it all got wiped. There are a number of containers by this terminal that we can loot, but this is a dead end. Really, the only other point of interest we find in this large hangar are the Starship lift controls, and we can activate the Mantis ship. The ship is now on the surface. We can now go topside to get it. Climbing out of here, there was only one part of the hangar we didn't explore, and that was a room off to the left. Here we find a weapon case, where I found an epic electromagnetic rifle, and after looting the lockers here, we can open a door to find the Mantis's private quarters. Lots of food laid out, papers and books everywhere, and on her desk, a terminal. Inside, we find 4 entries. In the first, Scorched Earth, warning, admin alert, please log off this computer. Process Scorched Earth has detected 3 unclosed documents. Warning, you have 1 hour to comply before admin override. Scorched Earth was only, 97% effective. Anything that was open on this terminal when Scorched Earth initiated didn't get wiped, which means we can read 3 entries. In the first, you've earned it. Dorian, you must have thought I was crazy, but now you see, right? Of all the people I could have chosen, I know you will fill the role of Mantis the best. In these computers, you will find the history of the Mantis. What the Mantis is today, it wasn't always the case. When reading the logs about the first Mantis, don't judge her too harshly. It was a volatile time. And before she passed the mantle, she recognized that the Mantis could be more than an opportunity to make money. It could be a symbol. Make the settled systems safer. Strike fear into the heart of those that believe they are above the law, above reproach. But most importantly, keep the secrets safe. Now I'm off to retirement. Don't try to contact me. You won't be able to find me. I've left all you need here, the former Mantis. Dorian was the last in a long line of Mantises that protected the settled systems. But it sounds like they didn't always act as guardians. It sounds like the first Mantis was more of a mercenary or a bounty hunter, a privateer who was in it for the money. It was only over time that the Mantis evolved to become a defender of the defenseless. In the next one, First Kill, I've been forced to take lives before, but this was the first time I did so as the Mantis. It felt different. I was scared, more about letting everyone down than the fight itself. At one point, the Mantis's ship, the Razor Leaf, was light years above everyone else, and she still flies well and true, but it's clear I need to upgrade pretty much everything inside it. The hull's what matters, though. That's the symbol. But in the end, I got the better of Redderer. I imagine there will be celebrations in the streets of Aquila City. Total scum. But I can't shake the feeling that tracker work is, at its heart, murder for pay. I'm not sure why the old Mantis chose me, but pretty much every Mantis has said that. Dorian Vauclain. And in the final one, about Leon. I've been going through the motions of living, fighting, and carrying on, but all I can think of is, you have a year to live, Dory. It plays over and over in my head. I can smell the office, see the sad, flat eyes of the doctor. Details come back to me at the oddest times. It puts everything in stark relief. What's important, what's not. The most important thing is choosing the right successor. And I just know Leon could do it. I have failed him so much. The job always seemed so pressing. If I'm brutally honest with myself, the nannies and the boarding schools raised him more than I. But there is greatness in him, if only he could see it. I'm going to talk with my lawyer first thing when I get in the system. The wheels need to be set in motion. I'm having a good day today. I feel so normal, but I'm walking through the whole world like it's a cloud. Dorian Vauclain. Struck by a terminal illness, it was only then that she began to reflect on her life and realize that maybe her son didn't need nannies. Maybe her son didn't need boarding school. Maybe her son needed a mother, but she wasn't there. She could have avoided killing her own son had she just opened up a bit, told him about her alter ego as the Mantis, or at least prepared him for what was to come. Moving into the bathroom, we find a Tracker's Alliance spacesuit, which is nearly as good as the Bounty Hunter spacesuit we looted earlier, and it's worth almost as much. Out of this room and turning right, we enter her workout room. In a caged-off section in the middle of the room is a glass armor case. Inside, we find a mannequin wearing a full suit of Mantis armor, including a Mantis pack, a Mantis space helmet, and a Mantis spacesuit. This complete set of Mantis armor is legendary. The spacesuit itself has 116 physical, 86 energy, and 100 EM defense. That's a bit less than the Bounty Hunter spacesuit that we just picked up in this dungeon. The pack is better than anything we've found yet, with 47 physical damage resistance, 55 energy, and 51 EM. And the helmet is clearly better than anything we have as well, with 54 physical damage resistance, 46 energy, and 50 EM. It's a pretty decent set, but what makes it amazing are the legendary armor effects. The thing is, these legendary armor effects are randomly rolled every time we loot the glass mannequin case, which means if we save just before opening the case, we can re-roll the legendary stats that appear on this suit. In this way, we can load save after save until we get a Mantis set of armor with legendary stats that we like. I ended up liking my first roll best. I got a Mantis pack, which reduces incoming physical damage from ranged weapons by 15%. It grants plus 20 to carry capacity, and has a 10% chance to stagger nearby attackers. For the helmet, I got a 20% increase to my oxygen capacity, 25 radiation resistance, and a 20% accuracy when firing while moving. And on the spacesuit, I got the bolstering legendary effect, which grants up to 100 ballistic and energy resistance the lower my health is, plus 25 thermal resistance, and a 75% chance to reduce damage by 50% while standing still. The whole suit itself, well, looks kinda goofy. It's cool in its own way, it really is. Clearly, it's meant to evoke a praying mantis, especially the helmet. It's sleek and kinda minimalist, but it's definitely the best thing we've got so far. While looting this room, we find a number of containers, an expert-locked storage chest with crafting components inside, and a science crate with ammunition, scrap, and a rare weapon. This lair has a research terminal and a number of workbenches, so we could turn this into a player home if we really wanted to. Though of course we can't build anything here. With the lair completely explored, we can at last move to the elevator and take it to the top. At the top, we find a terminal that we can use to open the secure access door that we saw upon entry. And from here, we can follow the path all the way outside. Taking the staircase all the way to the top, we find the Mantis's ship, the Razorleaf, waiting for us. It's a big, beautiful ship with a very distinct profile. Heading up the ramp and entering the ship, we find a number of containers to loot on the main floor, and opening a door, we can access the cockpit to take off. We also find a ladder here leading to an upper section. Here we find a number of storage containers, some of which are filled with stuff. In one, I found an epic hunting rifle, which is exactly what I was looking for. We find armor display stands, weapon cases, and in the back, a bunch of weapon racks, some of which are filled. We can interact with these to store whatever we like. When done, we can leave this planet with our brand new suit of armor, our brand new spaceship, and a rather sad story. This was exactly what I needed, because up until this point, I had been using the same ship that we got from Constellation right when we joined. But what about you? Will you be using the Razorleaf as your primary ship? Will you be modifying it? And how about the armor? Will you incorporate any of its pieces into your existing set, or will you take up the mantle of the Mantis to hunt down crime in the settled systems and make the pirates pay? Let me know your thoughts in the comments sections below. I publish new videos each and every week on my channel, and I go live almost every day. So if you don't want to miss my next episode or live stream, be sure to subscribe and to click that bell notification button. If you have already, but you still feel like you're missing out on YouTube notifications, consider following me on Twitter at Oxhorn. I update Twitter manually with every new piece of content that I publish. I've got a shirt shop with completely unique designs that you can't find anywhere else. My designs come on shirts in a variety of men's, women's, and children's sizes, and in a wide array of colors. You can find my designs on other products as well, like smartphone cases, pillows, posters, mugs, stickers, prints, etc. So if interested, you can find a link to my shop in the description below, or you can click here. If you like what I do and you want to support me in another way, consider becoming a patron on Patreon or a member here on YouTube. YouTube members get little badges that appear next to their names in the comment sections of my videos and access to Ox emojis that they can use in my video comments and in the live chats of my live streams. If you like my Starfield episodes and you want to let me know that you'd like to see me keep on making more, consider sending me a super thanks on this video. Your super thanks directly contribute to the production of this series. But more than anything, I'm just so glad you're here watching this video with me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon with more Starfield lore.